Right to put down and set that one. Here's up right here. No, not there. Yeah. Like that and plug it in. Okay. Remember to get it when you're done.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Alright, we're live.
We're live. Man, it has been a long fucking day.
Hell yeah.
Alright, can I hear myself? Hell yeah, I can hear myself.
Let them know.
Alright. Holy shit. Okay, we are live. I am Erik Scarlett from Selfmade Records. We work alongside Erik Digital Distribution. And tonight's show is not necessarily about me, but I have to bring this to everybody's attention. You see this, Johnny?
Yeah, I see it.
Do you know what that is?
That's a plaque.
It's a XMA Music Awards. For which album?
Nice.
For which album? Can you read that album right there?
Make Assassination Great Again.
Wasn't this the album that everybody said would not see the light of day?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what happens when you work with me. Eat, sleep, and breathe authenticity, motherfuckers. Alright, so tonight we are going to have a band on here called Marble Ghost. They are out of Ottawa, Canada. They just released their second EP called The Greatest Divide. It is out on all streaming platforms. It was released through Selfmade Records and Erik Digital Distribution. So check that out. Tonight we will have Dylan from Marble Ghost call in. We're going to have the audience, you know, whoever might want to talk to this man. You know, you can have a chance to call in, get some free merch, a free CD or something. He has a lot to say, and I'm finally proud to have a band on my roster with something to say. That is a beautiful thing. So I'm going to go ahead and shut my mouth right now and have Dylan call in.
That's right. Have him call in and
Yeah, it's a long day, bro. I feel like I've been like jogging all day somewhere.
Yes, it has been a long day.
I'm talking to another band called Hot Apollo. They're out of there somewhere too. They're pretty badass.
Nice.
I think they're gonna be the next like Motley Crue or some shit.
That's what it's all about, though. You gotta have lots of different types of bands.
I just like
that brings
music,
people.
brother. Yeah, I just like music, man. If I like it and it moves me, I think the rest of the world should hear it too.
That's right. I think that's pretty much what everyone feels when it comes to music. Because there's so many good versions of music out there.
There's so many good bands out there, man. The thing is a lot of people lack the business side of the, you know, they lack knowledge there, and they don't necessarily know how to release it or market it correctly.
Oh, speaking of Lable,
Yes, sir.
we got our guy right now.
Right, hopefully we got some good audio. Let me see if I can go live from this.
Yeah, we got some good
It's
luck
Dylan from
audio
Marble
this
Ghost.
time. Hello.
Dylan,
Hello.
could you please state the name of your band for me?
Yeah, it's Marble Ghosts.
Yes, sir. Also, you know, we had a conversation a while back, but I think the audience should know exactly what Marble Ghost stands for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say, so the whole band, minus one member, is on the line right now. If I can just introduce everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Number 4, enter.
If I can just introduce everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So I got Paul. He's on guitar.
Hey,
Hi,
Paul.
Yeah, my name's Paul. I play the guitar with Marble Ghost.
And then I got Paulo. He's on bass.
Hey, I'm Paulo.
Nice to meet you,
And
Paulo.
we got Jer, and he's on drums.
Hey, what's up?
And there's me. I'm Dylan, and I sing in the band. And Adam is coming back. He couldn't join us tonight, but thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. So, we have The Greatest Divide, just released May 23rd. It's doing well on all streaming platforms. You know, I heard an interview with you a few weeks ago, I believe it was. You know, time goes by pretty quickly, and I was thinking to myself, I need this man to say this again to my audience. So, I mean, could you recap exactly your thought process for writing the album The Greatest Divide, and even the song on your earlier EP, False Heroes? That song is so catchy, man.
Sure. I mean, I can talk about what the name means, Marble Ghosts. It was actually the original title of False Heroes, and really what it's about is not chasing the ghosts of the past, always moving forward, making sure that we're supporting everyone, no matter who they love, no matter who they are, no matter who they want to be, essentially. So the whole thing sort of came from, so the Marble Ghosts are the ghosts of the past, but it was actually inspired by the bringing down of the statue of Canada's first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald, and he's actually the one that came up with the residential school system, which has unfortunately created a lot of trauma over many generations in Canada with Indigenous people here. So the whole idea of the Marble Ghosts is not to chase the ghosts of the past, the ones that are religious ideologues, the ones that refuse to move forward, essentially, in terms of their ideology, whether it's religious or political. We're essentially trying to sort of give voice to marginalized people and lift people up and empower them through the music. So yeah, that's basically where the band's name comes from.
So it's safe to say that you're a band with something to say.
That's right.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot to say about with the Greatest Divide. It's really what it is. We are in a time where it is the greatest divide, where you can have a person that is basically trying to erase an entire people, essentially. Whether it's through an executive order or a law. It's Pride Month right now. And there's a reason why it still exists, because why there has to be a month for it, for awareness, not the bullshit that goes on with the corporations that sort of jump on it. A lot of them have left or are no longer supporting Pride, because Pride is supporting the idea that there's a genocide going on.
Well, there is a genocide going on, and we know it. We all know it,
exactly.
Right.
It means, believe me, I've worked.
This John Red Cords actor got killed.
I've worked in that area of law, in genocide, human. So basically, like crimes against humanity, and everything that's happening there it meets the legal definition of.
Oh yeah, I mean,
genocide.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, that's the idea. Is the corporations are dropping out, but you have to stand up. If you're not standing up for all marginalized groups, then you're standing up for none. So the Greatest Divide is really this idea, this world that we're living in, where you can have these polar opposites, where you can have people who are having completely different conversations about what is reality, and that's sort of the unfortunate truth. And the deeper the divide, the more difficult it is to bring the people together. So it is possible to have those conversations, and the 5 songs on the EP are all sort of based their stories around individuals who are dealing with the Greatest Divide and how they either came together, accepted it, and grew and learned from it, or whether they're still sort of mired in it. They haven't crossed the chasm yet to join together. But the idea is, the deeper that it goes, the wider that it goes, the harder it is for people to have those conversations. So that's really what it is. It's the first lyric off our first single, The Distance Between. It's here we are in the Greatest Divide, and we can see it play out every single day in how a lot of marginalized people are treated right now.
You know, that is a very important and touchy topic to talk about, especially in the music industry. Tell me, how has that affected your ability to perform or even get your music marketed? I mean, I know the answer for the marketing, but I just want the rest of the people to know. You there?
You still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're here. We're just having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
Oh, okay. No, I said it is a very touchy subject to speak about in the music industry and in public in general. Everybody normally just wants you to just nod your head and smile and go along and don't rock the boat. So my question to you is, how has this affected your ability in the music industry to navigate and be able to promote?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I just think that essentially that's what the songs are about, and to me, the message is extremely important. At the end of the day, like, we do have fans that just like the music, and that's okay. Once you put something out there, you can't control how people are going to consume it. So I don't have an issue with that. I wouldn't, like, I mean, unless you're a Nazi or something like that.
I got songs about
Don't
stomping
like,
Nazis, so I
if you're a
understand.
Nazi, please don't like our music. Don't listen to our music.
That's right. Fuck
You know,
Nazis.
but you can't control that. I would think that certain people are going to be turned off by the messaging in some ways, and some people are just going to like to listen to the music, that the guys that we've created together. So like, does it hamper us? I mean, maybe. Metal is traditionally not singing about these types of themes. It's definitely kind of more punk, but we definitely have punk influences. So and it's in the music.
Well, Dylan, if you ask me, I mean, you came to the right guy to promote something that is so kind of on the spectrum of not promotable, but you're promotable. You know what I mean? But the thing is if you take a look back in history to when rock and roll first started its roots, man, it was all about protesting. It was all about speaking up and saying what they were seeing. But, that was like back in the 60s and everything. And nowadays, now that things are the way they are, even though rock and roll progressed through punk and metal and extreme metal, etc., and so far on to whatever genres are there now, the thing that's missing in rock and roll and metal that sells rock and roll and metal is attitude. And that's where you come up with this right here, which is standing up and saying, hey, I'm not going to lay down, and I'm not going to just sit by while this stuff happens. I'm going to say something. And that's what the movement was all about. But nowadays, people forgot that. And that's why everything is so oversaturated and it all sounds the same. I believe in bands like you, which is why I brought you on, because you have something to say. And not everybody is saying it because they're scared. Everybody is scared right now. And a lot of people have a right to be fearful because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. But at this moment, at this very moment in time, Marble Ghost is making history by standing up and standing on the right side of history.
That's right.
That was a little long-winded. Do you have a message for your fans?
I mean, yeah, I guess time will tell about that, whether we're standing on the right side of history or not. But we definitely have something to say. The songs have something to say. We want to get a message out there. We just released, obviously, the EP, and we released a music video that is kind of a PSA about human trafficking, and that's the song "Traffic," the Devil Inside. And it's one of my favorite songs on the EP. And I think it's really powerful. It seems like the message is getting out there on YouTube, and a lot of people don't realize what human trafficking is, and it's not about being picked up in a van, being picked up off the street as a woman. In Canada, obviously 95% of them are women and girls that are the victims of this. Yeah, I think for Traffic, the greatest divide is really accepting that something like this can exist in a world like that. In 2025, that people can use people like that and just cause such suffering for their own gain, essentially. But what is really shocking about them is that a large percentage of them know who their trafficker was or is. And most of them started off as friends or boyfriends because they get them, and like so. So the greatest divide there is them sort of accepting that. But do you want to talk about how it was like how it came together? I'm sure the guys would.
I would definitely love to hear some music side here from the other guys. I mean, I love talking to you, but I would definitely love to hear how everything came together, and some musical influences and some inspirations for the Greatest Divide.
Absolutely. Jared, do you want to talk about that?
I can't hear anybody.
You still here?
Hello?
Hello?
Did we lose him?
Yeah.
Oh,
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. All right.
Sounds good.
We can't hear him though.
Yeah.
We can't hear him.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Yeah, hello?
All
Hello.
right, we can hear you now.
All right, there we go. Yeah, so maybe we could talk a little bit about how the record came together.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Jared, do you want to talk about that?
I still can't hear Jared.
No? Okay.
Is he on your phone?
Yeah, he's on the call. Yeah. We're on a very large conference call right now. That's okay. Until he can come back in,
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was waiting for you to finish.
Okay. I guess until he can come back in, then I'll answer that question. So yeah. How did it come together? Like, it really was a group effort. The first EP was different because it really was more like Adam, our guitar player. He brought a lot of the tracks, and they even had like programmed drums on them and bass and everything like that. So it was really, they were kind of just waiting for vocals and then for each individual member to sort of add their own flair. But these songs were written more as a band. So I don't know if you can hear that in how they came together. But they definitely, you can definitely hear the different sort of influences between the different members. But yeah, this was a record that was written really as a band, where Adam would still bring in the riffs, but they were more like skeleton structures, and we would just sort of go from there, and that worked well on this record. We were able to also like bring in everybody. So like he's not with the band anymore, but our former bassist Paul Champagne, he actually wrote the lyrics for Trafficked. So shout out to him, and we're still good friends. But yeah, so he did some of the so he wrote the lyrics for Traffic. He also wrote the sort of the original skeletal structure for it, and Jer for the song Osmium, which is just like balls to the wall, like metal track. There's a crazy guitar solo in there, which I love.
I have a question for you about that song.
What's that?
I have a question for you about the title of that song. What does that mean?
Osmium is the heaviest metal.
Really?
So, yeah, apparently. That's so.
Nice.
So Adam.
I'm normally really good with my words.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, so Adam came up with it. It's osmium is apparently the heaviest metal. I don't know. I don't know my periodic table very well. But yeah, apparently it's the heaviest metal.
I should have named my band that.
Adam, when he
Yeah,
originally
you
wrote
should
it, wasn't sure. What's that?
I said I should have named my band that because my band is literally the heaviest metal.
It is very heavy. Yeah, it's very heavy. Yeah. So when Adam wrote it, he didn't think initially that we were going to play it in this band because he's like, maybe it's too heavy. So at the end of the day, we just loved it. So we just said, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a Marble Ghost track, and yes, you can do a dive bomb solo at the beginning of it and everything. And so that was super cool. But it still has like that strong messaging and everything. But it's just like mixed with this super heavy riff that when we play it, like it always gets a pit going. So it's really super fun to play live for that one. But yeah, apparently Osmium is the heaviest metal. And you can Google that again.
Nice. Sure. I definitely dig the song Gloom. I mean, I dig all the songs, man. I've been listening to them ever since we started working together, and it's just been on my thing on repeat. But Gloom, man, that chorus that you got going on, it really hits hard because even though the song, you have your meaning of the song about the camps with Paris Hilton. But, like, there's some things you say in there that anybody can relate to if they've been through that darkness. Did we lose you?
Yeah, sorry, the sound was just cutting out a little bit.
I think they might have a delay.
All that, I think they did too.
Yeah.
So, I can hear you. I don't think the guys can hear you though. But we can continue. So yeah, Gloom, which we're gonna have a lyric video come out for at the end of June. Yeah, it's really, that one is really about the behavior modification camps, the whatever teens behaving badly camps. That's like if you were watching TV in the like mid '90s, you probably saw these on like talk shows where they would have these kids and they would talk about these camps, and it was really seen as like tough love, and that was very much that sort of generation and how they brought up their kids, and that also went with how they disciplined their kids. And So with these camps, unfortunately, what ended up happening is that the kids were just traumatized. They, yes, some of them were out of control, but some of them were just couch potatoes. They were just, lazy. They didn't have a lot of things going on, and they were sent to these camps. And the most the most famous person they sent to one of these camps was Paris Hilton. She was sent to several of the camps. And the song Gloom is really inspired by hearing her talk about the camps and her advocacy to get them shut down, because they did end up being so traumatizing, so damaging to the kids. And a lot of them ended up being addicts. And at one of the camps, the kids there who had apparently been going to high school, they found out that their actual schooling was completely worthless. So all of the schooling that they had done was worthless.
Wow.
So they basically had to start over, which is like, you've been traumatized and you have no education. You have literally no education. You're 18 years old and you're coming out and you've been through this really traumatizing experience. That's the worst thing of all, is that this is something that your parents instrumented. Right?
Yeah.
So the parents designed it. They paid for it. They, again, it was that idea of tough love. And it's just like, I don't know how to help you. So I'm going to call people to basically kidnap you in the night. And it's insane if you think about it. But unfortunately, these camps still exist.
It also sounds like
there are a couple documentaries on Netflix about them, but definitely, Paris Hilton has been a really powerful advocate to get these camps shut down. She went through hell in those camps.
I really dig the subject matter. I mean, anybody who knows me, I'm all about pointing out societal flaws and hypocrisy and letting people know this isn't the way. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, these things are real things that are happening in real life, and people tend to not think about those things, and I don't blame them. Every time I turn on the news, I want to turn it back off too. But at the same time, closing your eyes to what you see doesn't mute someone else's agonizing screams. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, I think a lot of these problems are like that, though. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. That's why they're problems.
Exactly.
But definitely dig the music. For anybody listening out here, if you want to call in and talk to the vocalist and possibly get a free CD, you can do so. If there's not enough people listening that want to talk to the vocalist, that's fine too. But tell us where we can find you. Everybody who might want to find your music, where can they find you?
Absolutely. Well, we're on all the streaming platforms, obviously, Spotify, Apple Music, and we're also on YouTube and TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We have a link tree as well. That's where you can get everything.
And anywhere they're not, they're going to be, because I'm going to put them there.
Heck yeah.
All right, so do you have anything else that you would like to tell people that are listening, or just shout outs to anybody?
I just I want to shout out Sound Creation Studios for making us sound fantastic. They mixed Scott Welsh mixed and mastered both of our EPs, and he did a great job. A really fantastic job. I want to thank as well, obviously, Paul Champagne for playing in the band, even though he's not in there anymore, but he's actually going to be playing a show with us July 17th. He's going to rejoin the band for that show. And I want to thank him for, obviously, for Traffic and for the contribution that he made to the band. I want to thank the guys. It's too bad they're not here. They can't hear you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Hey, it happens like that, though.
Yeah, well...
I mean, we were able to hear them earlier, but now it's like...
I think the problem might be that he called in from his phone, and they're like on a conference call thing, and there's something with the signal. I don't know what that might be, but I am definitely glad that we got you on tonight.
That's right.
Thanks so much. I also want to thank you, of course, as well. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I thank you for having faith in me. You know, when someone like me comes along and says, hey, this is what I can do, I understand the skepticism that I get from people, you know what I mean? But it's really nice when somebody gives me that faith, too, and says, hey, all right, I'm going to trust you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree 100%. Yeah.
Well, all right, brother. I think that we've run out of stuff to talk about, unless you have anything else that you want to shout out to anybody and tell these people. I commend you for what you're doing, and I stand beside you, obviously. Even if we weren't working together and I found your band somehow and I listened to it, I'd be like, yes, this is going on my playlist because I stand for this and I believe in this.
Amazing. Thanks so much, guys.
You're
awesome,
welcome, brother.
Have a good night, brother.
That's right.
Bye.
That was Marble Ghosts.
They are from Ottawa, Canada. They just released The Greatest Divide. It is on all streaming platforms. The leading song right now is Trafficked, and you just heard them talk about that. So if you like the music, hit them up on Facebook. Give them a like. Give them a follow. If you can afford to do so, get some merch. Support the band. They've got a great cause. And, if you don't want to buy some merch, just share their music. Share their music with like-minded people, because at the end of the day, this message needs to get spread globally to everybody. Everybody needs to hear it, and everybody needs to care. And if you don't care about the message, the music is good. Care about the message, too.
That's right. And those,
Sleep and breathe metal.
if you think about what they were talking about, the camps, sounds pretty similar to what the Nazis were doing.
Oh, yeah, dude. Fuck. Man, these fucking Nazis, bro, they fucking came along and they gathered up all the disabled people first.
Yep.
And then shoved them in camps. Man, we can go on a history lesson all night long, but, I mean, I think I've done this so much that, like, repeating it would be redundant. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
I just want to say one more thing real quick. Here we go. Hey, plaque, make assassinations great again. This is fucking awesome. No, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you my album is called Make Assassinations Great Again.
That's
and
right.
I won an award for it. I won a fucking award. People had to vote for this shit.
It was this one.
Do I got it right side? Yes. So, yes, I am proud of this. I am very fucking proud of this, because all you little fuck faces who tried to kick me out and keep me down, you can't. You can't. So, I hold this with pride. And maybe now you'll stop and start learning that you should work with me and you'll get further.
That's right.
Anyway.
And you'll probably be like Marble Ghosts.
Yeah, man. You know, stop hating and just congratulate and know your place and know that when I say something, it'll work.
That's right.
But anyway, man, it has been a long day. I know that it's only 8:30 something. What do you say, man? You got anything you want to talk about?
Well, not that I think of, brother. But we could definitely do a part 2, though.
We could definitely do a part 2.
Because you got Marble Ghosts. And you got another band that you're looking to sign.
I got another band that actually, they're not looking. We had the business call today.
Oh, you already have it?
We already had it. In a couple days, they're going to finalize the contract. Then I can start telling everybody all about Hot Apollo. Hot Apollo. You got to check out Hot Apollo. Even though he ain't signed the contract yet, check out Hot Apollo, you know.
We'll definitely have to do this again.
Yeah. And Chuck W. Chapman, man, he just came out with a new album, too, called Outcast Among Outcasts.
Yeah.
Now this dude is for fans of Kiss, Cheap Trick, like old school rock and roll, you know, the...
That's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Hey, old school rock and roll, there's nothing wrong with it.
I like that old time of rock and roll.
Me
that kind
too.
of music just
I still got
soothes the
that.
soul.
I still got that album as well from way
I
back
like that
when.
old time of rock and roll. All right, well, yeah, we can end it tonight.
Hey, guys, if you're not having fun, you ain't getting none.
I got some last night, or was it this morning? Babe, are you listening? Can you verify what I just said?
Guys, that's what it's all about. Go out and support your local artists, your local musicians. Support everybody.
Yeah,
also,
man.
I want to give a real quick shout out to Jonathan Josh. He was murdered June 1st, all because he was, in other terms, gay.
What the fuck?
Yeah. His neighbor decided, because him and his husband were right there trying to pay tribute to their house that had been burnt down. This motherfucker comes up to them, pulls out a gun after yelling slurs at him, and opened fire and killed Jonathan Josh, who pushed his husband out of the way, and he took the bullets himself. Guys, we as a society need to fucking wake up and stop doing stupid shit.
Man.
Exactly.
What the fuck, dude? You're gonna kill somebody because they're gay?
Exactly. All because he doesn't agree with what he was seeing. All because they were out there inside the neighborhood to pay tribute to their fucking house that got burnt down. That was the only reason why they came there. That's the only reason why Jonathan Josh, who voiced John Redcorn in King of Hill, he got killed all because he wanted to come and pay respects to the house that he lived in for so long that got burnt down. And this motherfucker comes up, yells homophobic slurs, and get this month is Pride Month. So June 1st, this motherfucker starts harassing the only gay couple that he sees on that street and decides, you know what, I'm just going to pull out my gun and shoot.
You know what, man? That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That's fucking disgusting, homie. Like, they ain't bothering you.
Exactly.
Nobody's bothering you, homie.
But he decided to be a prick. And get this, runs like a bitch after he does it.
You're gonna kill somebody and then run.
Exactly. And then he got caught. Now he's going to be facing jail sentence.
Did he at least look him in the eye when he did it? Or was he a fucking coward punk?
From what it sounds like, he did not look him in the eye when he shot.
If you're gonna kill somebody, you better look them in the fucking eye, homie.
Exactly. That's why it's sad news, because Jonathan Josh voiced John Redcorn in King of the Hills from season 2 to season 13.
It's sad that it happened anyway. I mean, I'm happy about his accomplishments, and that's a great thing. But if it happened to anybody, just any normal, that's fucking.
It could have happened to anyone. Man. And that's a sad note to end it on. But I just want to say shout out to him, because Jonathan Josh didn't deserve that shit.
Rest in peace, homie. Rest
in peace to him. And guys, remember this Wednesday as well, we got Josh Ashcraft going to be inside the studio. OBW. You know it. You love it. Come and support it. Also go out and support your local musicians, artists, talent, comedians, everyone. Don't just support one, support all. And if you're not having fun yet again, you ain't getting none.
Andy Podcast.